Welcome back to our channel, Living in Southern Indiana, Northern Kentucky. Hi, I'm Kara Henshaw with Key Associates Signature Realty. And yes, we're going to always talk about fun stuff. As you know, if you've never watched this channel, I do a weekly video, so make sure you tap that subscribe button. We wouldn't want you to miss anything that I release once a week. So, all right, we're going to do some interesting things today. We are going to talk about two things, twofold. We're going to talk a little bit about should buyers get off the sidelines and come back into this market a little bit. The people that have been scared, fed up, looking at all these houses, getting outbidded. I just think it might be some interesting things to look at to the buyers that are looking in the area, as well as I'm going to go over an overview of Southern Indiana and all the areas that we cover as a brokerage. I talk a lot about the different towns, but I really never give you an overview. So gonna go into that and show you all those buyers that are all over the U.S., wherever you may be coming, why you should look at Southern Indiana, the benefits of the different areas, our cost of living, which is fabulous compared to some places out there. I just got back from a real estate conference in Phoenix, and yes, I can tell you we are a deal. I hear everybody's averages, and I'm just always astonished how much we can get for our homes here in the what I call the Kentucky, Indiana area. So stay tuned. We're going to first go in why I think things look a little different, and then I'll go into an overview of the whole Southern Indiana, Northern Kentucky area so you can kind of focus in on where you may want to live. So here we go. All right, let's look at what I call the Kentucky, Indiana area. Southern Indiana, Northern Kentucky. It's one of the prettiest places, I think, out there. I think everybody's shocked when they come to Southern Indiana, Northern Kentucky, just how pretty it is. So I'm going to first just give you an overview. What we look at is really, if you start here on Evansville on the west side of Indiana on the Ohio River, which is what our channel is, and go all the way to the Louisville area. This is kind of the area, if you go way up here, I go up more than this, and then this area down here. So I'm going to cover some of these towns as an overview. There's a lot of videos on a lot of these towns, so you can like kind of zone in if you like what you're hearing and where they're at and what they have to offer. But I'm going to first go in to the market. Should the buyers that have been on the sidelines come back into the market? Are we seeing a little bit of a shift? And I would say, I no crystal ball here, but I can tell you something interesting is happening. Today I was putting up open house signs, and honestly we have not done open house signs, or open houses I should say, not signs, really for the last good 6 months to a year. I mean, honestly, things sold so quickly, multiple offers, that really we didn't have to do them. And so what I did is we have 3 that we opened today, and that is not typical on our Sundays as it's been in the past. So I went in, I looked at the open houses, and I kind of, just so you know, there's a lot of this, there's like 5 or 6 MLSs here that we have to get into. I just pulled like this area, like if you look at half the state of Indiana on the west side, just to give some figures because I thought it was interesting. So if you go back in to the open houses right here, I'm trying to get my, oh, whoops, I lost my little open houses. Where did they go? Here, let's pull that again. Sorry about that. If you go into the open houses, and I pulled everything basically that was of yesterday to today. So let's look at it. If you look at it, there are 63 open houses today, or yesterday, I should say, this weekend, in what I call the Southwest Indiana. It's about 14 counties, so it's a lot of areas covered. And kind of was shocked. Honestly, I haven't seen that many open houses being done in the past. Honestly, for a while in these counties, there was only like 270, 80 homes listed. So that's one sign that things look a little different here in our area. Another thing is if you it keeps popping me out. It's not good. What the heck? If you go into the market, let's just go here real quick. and you look at, let's say, the last 7 days of all those counties, there's been 97 new listings, which is normal. We are starting, obviously, to continue to see listings come on. 8 expired. Honestly, we don't see a lot of expired like we used to. This is one that's interesting to me. 60 price changes. That is unheard of if you look at the last year. Price changes, meaning that houses are coming down. That's why I'm thinking buyers, if you've been on the sideline, a little frustrated with the bidding wars, and I'm not saying there still is bidding wars, especially in certain price points, but things are changing enough that the houses are reducing. So it's a feeler for me to feel like that the market is slowing a little bit. It's shifting a little bit to the buyer side. Honestly, we're still at very low months of inventory, so it's not like we're on a normal, like what they saw is very stable for buyers and sellers is 5 months, 6 months. We still are way probably more in favor of the sellers, but just showing you things are changing out there. Still had as many sold, 99 in these counties, as what's coming on market. So pretty equal, pending about 113. So again, it's overcoming the pending over the new. And then back on market 17. But what I thought was interesting is I went and pulled just to look at inventory for the last, months of inventory. I went back 4 weeks and roughly 124 homes were sold in this area. Then I went back 3 weeks and 156 were sold in that week period. I went back 2 weeks, so within that, 2 weeks back, just not looking at the whole 4 weeks, but 2 weeks, it's that 1 week only, 137 were sold. I went back this week and only 77 were sold. So something's changing, not saying it's going to stay there forever, but it is interesting that we're going into summer, usually our prime time, and things aren't skyrocketing like most of the time you would figure. So some statistics, can't talk today, of what you may want to start looking at. Buyers, if you've been on the fence, you may want to come back out and start looking. It's still not, still very competitive, and don't get me wrong, but things may be loosening up a little bit, not so crazy out there like it was within this past, especially last spring, summer time frame. So it's definitely a different picture out there. So let's go through, hopefully that helps. So buyers, we are seeing a little bit of a change. I'll kind of look at that here in the next 4 or 5 weeks, see if it stays on track. Like I said, no crystal ball here, just some items that I'm seeing, a lot of price changes, a lot of open houses, something that is just not typical that we've seen in the last year. So some things that are good on the horizon, particularly maybe for the buyer side. So let's go to Google Maps. I wanted to kind of go in and give you a little bit of a highlight of our area. And I'm going to try to, where is it? Zone out. Well, here, actually, I'll just go this way. So Evansville, and I have to figure out how to, here we go. My little picture's above it, so I had to move it. Let's go into Evansville. We'll start Evansville. So there are tons of videos in Evansville. This is a great city. It's not as big as Louisville, obviously. It doesn't have the same feel as Louisville. Louisville's just has that older vibe of, those Victorian homes. If you love all that, which I'll get into, they have them in Evansville, don't get me wrong, but just not at the level of volume and just history that Louisville kind of has. So usually when you're looking at the Evansville area, so zone in on my videos, we got the west side. These are very proud people. West Siders don't leave the west side. And this is where USI is, the zoo. But there's a lot of great country living here. It's beautiful, rolling hills, just really a park setting. And a lot of people that do live on the west side are very proud and love the west side. There's a lot of history there with Franklin Street. So an area to look at depending on where you're working in Evansville. The north side's a little bit newer. This is more like the Darmstadt area. It's closer up to 64. A lot of new subdivisions are in this area, nice homes. One thing, and I'll jump up here, is Gibson, which is up here in this Fort Branch, Princeton area. This is where Toyota is. This is Gibson County right here. And a lot of people that definitely work at Toyota or some of the industry up in Gibson live on the north side as well if they have not chose Gibson, which both of them have been hard to find houses because of that plant. So you got Gibson up here, you got Poseyville, or Posey counties on this side. That's more of the Mount Vernon area. So if you want to go a little farther west, this is a smaller town, obviously from Evansville, but still kind of a suburb if you want to commute in. And then you got the east side. This is the shopping area of Evansville if you like to shop and have a lot of amenities near you. Obviously downtown, this is they're reviving and doing a lot, so definitely check this out if that's more your living, and kind of go from there. Newburgh is really, it's not a subdivision of Evansville, but definitely sits on the outskirts. A lot of subdivisions here, a lot of nice homes, great schools. So that is an area to look at if you're looking in the Evansville area, or potentially for even in Gibson, but there is a drive there if you are doing that. Then what you do is you're going to look at, you got Boonville's a smaller town. It's still in Warwick County. Linville's small. You kind of go down through here. You got Richland, Rockport. This is all very rural right here. If you like country living, there are some great homes out there with acreage. Near both of these towns, you're hitting Owensboro, Henderson. It still has good access. But this is where you're going to probably look for more of your country homes. You can find good deals if you get into Boonville, maybe a little bit of a lower price point than maybe Evansville or Newburgh. So more entry homes may be in these areas to look as well. So that would be a great place to live if you're looking for a little bit more rural. Henderson here, this is on the Kentucky side, great town. Smaller than Owensboro, smaller than Evansville, obviously. The homes are going to be a little bit more reasonable here if you're looking to compare between Evansville and Henderson. So that's an area to check out. A great riverfront area as well for enjoying just outdoors. You go to Owensboro, it's a great place as well. It's actually my favorite riverfront of all of the Ohio River. They've done a great job, just done a lot of good reviving. Their shopping is just as plentiful as Evansville and actually less crowded, and just has a lot of older homes that are really nice as well. So this is definitely a great place to check out if you like barbecue. They got lots of barbecue there. They like bluegrass music, so this is a fun place to pick as well. So it just depends on where you're looking. Let's go up and kind of go this area. Santa Claus, if you like lakefronts, this is where you're going to look for lakefront. There is a lake there that you can put boats on. It really is the only lake for skiing in the southern Indiana below Bloomington area. So that's kind of, it's a gated community. That's kind of just something different if you're looking for that type of environment. This is Du Bois County right here, all this area. A very strong county. Anchored by Jasper, where it's basically courthouse is. Huntingburg and Ferdinand right here are great small towns, not real big. I have lots of videos on them. This has a cute small town, a little bit more reasonable houses. And then you have Ferdinand, which is a smaller town as well. And I call it the one lane town, but it's so cute and very well kept and very, very friendly. And then Jasper has a lot of the, and Iron, this area, have a lot of businesses for the actual size of the town. There is a lot of businesses and jobs in this area. It's a very rich town, very rich in rich in German. So has a lot of history there. But a great smaller town if you don't want something as big as Evansville to definitely check out. Lagodi, this area up here is smaller towns as well. All this Washington, Vincennes. Vincennes is obviously a little bigger. But these are different areas and towns, depending on where you're working and where you have to commute to, that are ones to check out. We keep going down 64. You got Tell City. This is an actual older town. Used to have a lot of businesses in it. Went back in the day. I mean, we're talking early 1900s. A lot of it moved out, but still has a lot of charm and a lot of amenities of restaurants and stuff, and a little bit better value for your homes you can be found here. So check that video out. This is what you consider Perry County. The Hoosier Forest is here, which is one thing that a lot of people really like if you're outdoors, like to hunt. A lot of second homes in this area, as well as up here. You can see it kind of goes up here too. This is more Orange and Crawford, all this area. So you have a little bit of a mix of, you're going to get rural in this area. Good place to look for rural. Actually, the values are better for rural living in these areas than if you were going this direction, close to the cities. You do have Patoka Lake here, great boating reservoir. You cannot live on it, but it is great to enjoy boating. You also have French Lick, that's the casino. That's where Larry Bird was from. So another great town to check out. Paoli skiing, but there's a lot of tourism in this area and a lot of second homes in addition to first homes that people from Indianapolis love to buy around this area because of the forest and Patoka. So you keep going down. We're going down like the 64 area. You get into Georgetown. This is all pretty rural, like right in this area. A lot of tourists. You got the caves, Marengo Caves. You got Blue River, things that people come to visit. There is living there as well, but it becomes very rural until you hit more the Corydon, Georgetown. This is more what the Kentucky, Indiana. Like if you don't want to live on the Louisville side, but you want to live on the Indiana side, you would definitely be looking at these areas right here, Sellersburg. This area before you cross over into Louisville. So Corydon, a smaller town, you got your Walmart, you got your basics. As you come into here, Georgetown is smaller as well, but it's very close to Floyd Knobs, same school system, so you got great schools in this area. Really pretty area, rolling hills. It's just the subdivisions are very, very just picturesque in this area for sure. So that's something to definitely check out. A lot of people like, where is New Albany? It's not in. Do I have to get closer? There we go. New Albany. I'm getting a little closer here. New Albany sits right across from Louisville. So they have a cute downtown, just a nice riverfront. So it's an area to look at if you want on the Indiana side. Clarksville, Sellersburg. I mean, all of this is very... Jeffersonville is popular as well on the riverside, on the Indiana side. One thing, though, to consider if you're living on the Indiana side and commuting in, 64 does not have tolls. If you come in the other way, there are tolls. So there are some people that want to live closer to this, or they'll commute over and go over the 64 route because there's no toll roads. So something simple, but to definitely check out. So those are all great towns. Live like on the edge of Louisville if you want to be on the Indiana side, depending on what state you like and what they benefit for taxes and everything else. So Louisville, obviously you get in, and I'm starting to do a lot of Louisville videos. You got obviously the downtown area, Nulu, the south part, which is down by, you got the University of Louisville. Old Louisville, here's where I'm trying to show you. You got Churchill Downs, all that area. A lot of people like. You get in over here, St. Matthews. I'm trying to zone in so you can see a little better where to go. So St. Matthews is where all the shopping. There's a lot of malls in this area. A lot of people really like it. So that's an area to check out. You got Germantown. You got the Highlands, all in this area. Right here's the Highlands. Here's the Germantown. Nulu's up in this area. Butchertown. These are all very, Clifton, another good one. A lot of people really like lots of parks, as you can see in this area. So a lot of people, this is a popular area of Louisville, especially if you like the older homes and just the vibe of what it offers as the neighborhood, pubs and everything else that go along with it. Again, shopping is more St. Matthews area. And as you go out more this area, it does get a little bit more rural, but it has newer homes, definitely nice areas. One area is to look at is the Prospect area. Where did it go? Can't even find it on my map. I'm too far out. Here we go. Prospect. This all area is a really nice area of Louisville. Gets you a little bit more out of town. You got your horses and look of, more the Lexington look I'd call, but where you have more of those horses and not ranches, but farms, and but also you have a really cute town and really nice houses in this area. So definitely check out this area as well. Middleton, like that's another area. It's not really, I mean, it's just more another area of Louisville that's a nice area. So lots of different great areas to live at. A lot of people will even go down to this area where you have the Memorial, Jefferson Memorial Forest. A lot of people like this. So there is some areas down here that you may want to check out as well that are just nice areas to live. So that's just a little overview. I know I cover a lot of videos between these two towns and north and south of, depending on Indiana or Kentucky. We have a lot of agents that cover a lot of the areas. So depending on what town you may zone in on, it may be me or it may be one of our agents that's more of an expert than even me. But we definitely love to cover the whole Ohio River and the houses that border up to it in towns. So we do go farther up, obviously near the Bloomington area and all that as well. But it just gives you an idea of depending on where you're looking at. There are definitely cities. There are small towns that are adorable. There is definitely lots of land in between if you're looking for that 5-10 acres of tract land, a farm or whatever you may be looking for. It is a beautiful area and just a lot to offer for what you get for the price here in our region. So I hopefully this helps you give you a little better view of all the videos that I do, and it may be able to zone you in on the playlist. If you do look at my playlist, I usually do it by Evansville, Newburgh, which is this area. I have Henderson as one, Owensboro as one, Louisville as one. And then you'll see Du Bois County would be more that Jasper area. Gibson is more this area. Spencer is more this area, or Santa Claus. There's a lot on Santa Claus because of the lakefronts. Get over to Perry, that's this area. And then Orange and Crawford's all this area. So if you are looking at my playlist, that kind of helps you zone in on where to look. So I hope you enjoyed our video of kind of the overview of Kentucky, Indiana area, but also those buyers, if you're out there, whatever city, town you're in, I think it's definitely time to maybe start looking again. If you've been on the sidelines, get back out there, check it out. It may switch. Like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. It just feels a little bit of softening. No softening compared to what it was like, 5, 6, 10 years ago, but definitely not as crazy as it was for some of these buyers here in the last year. So if you need anything, I got your back here moving to the Kentucky, Indiana area. You can give me a call at 812-686-3268. I got your back, and until next time, I'll see you then.